Welcome back, and if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Shayla Renee, and this is the home of all things faith, wedding, and lifestyle. On this part of the web, all things wedding will be categorized as Bridal Talk with Shayla Renee. Now, if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss a beat. Now, let's get into it. I was feeling a little inspired on whatever night this was, and the Holy Spirit hit me with wedding planning process, your method. Break it down and share it with the people, especially recently engaged brides, just to kind of free them a little and alleviate some of that pain, stress, and anxiety around this whole concept, this whole idea of planning a wedding for the first time. Like, you 9 times out of 10 have not ever done this before. So I have great news for you. This is the place to start. Now, when I got inspired on this particular night, again, I don't even remember what night it was at this point, and that is irrelevant. I decided to grab my camera and get it rolling so that I could take you along my process behind the scenes of me creating content for you, while at the same time being intentional about how I'm capturing, so that at the end of the day you feel heard, valued, and supported as the engaged bride. So I'm going to get to the whole 5-step process in just a second. First things first, because presentation is key, come get ready with me, and then we'll get into recording the video. All right, so I think I'm just going to put on a hat and a necklace and some rings and some gloss and call it a day. We're not even putting any eyebrows on. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. Just a simple little elevation to the look. Necklace on top of the white tee. My little hoodie situation. A few rings and some gloss. And we're about to call it a day. Like, we're about to go get into this content, okay? I really wish that I had my glasses. Let's see how we feel about this pair. This is not the pair that I was thinking of, but hey, it may. No, we're gonna take them off. All right, so now what I am about to do is be intentional about how I share what I am about to share. As we know, I could be a little chatty Cathy. So it helps me sometimes to have a little, not a script per se, but just talking points. So then I know where we're going with the conversation. The Bright Method pretty much breaks down how we work together, right? And it's really not even about how we work together. It's more about the process that my team and I take as it pertains to developing some type of plan for execution for you, for your wedding or event. And so literally it's the BRIDE, it's an acronym. However, it can transfer over to any type of logistical thing when it comes to hosting or putting on an event, a wedding or a special event or big event. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to break down the acronym BRIDE. So B stands for brainstorm, R stands for revenue, I stands for individualized support, and D stands for delegation, a word that many of us are working to become friends with. And then last but not least, E is for execution. And so this is the 5-step process that my team and I take when it comes to your wedding or special event. So if you're recently engaged and all of that jazz and looking to figure out, okay, where do I start? You know, the excitement of the engagement is starting to wear off, and now the reality of, oh my gosh, I'm planning a wedding is starting to set in. This is a good framework that, from my point of view, that I would recommend for following. So brainstorm. You want to brainstorm with yourself. You want to brainstorm with your partner and whoever your key stakeholders are. Your key stakeholders are anyone who has any type of financial stamp on your special day, okay? Our revenue, your budget. So what money do you have coming in and specifically allocated to the wedding day so that you can determine, so how much are you going to put in? How much is your partner going to put in? How much are your parents or, you know, other family members or friends that have been waiting for this moment for you and your partner to say, you know what, we want to contribute. that's going to determine your revenue, because you should not proceed with making any types of plans without knowing what your budget is. So what you're able to put towards the wedding, plus what your partner is able to put towards the wedding, plus whatever extra that you all have coming in from family, friends, loved ones, working a part-time gig just to kind of not go into debt for the wedding. That's going to determine your budget, okay? And then next is individualized support. So you have to understand that there are multiple levels and facets of communication when it comes to planning your wedding. You have you and your partner, you have you all's parents, you have your bridal party, should you be going that route. You also have your vendors, okay? So, and then outside of your vendors, you have your guests, all right? That's a whole lot. And each one of those parties, each one of those groups, they have their own level of support when it comes to communication, needs, questions, expectations, all that jazz. And so you want to make sure that you have that all sorted out. Then delegation, because you've brainstormed, you've taken a look at your budget, and you know what that is. You determine who your key stakeholders are. So then you could determine, like, how are you going to support them, and how are they going to support you, and how are you all going to support each other? Okay, well, in all that supporting, we're going to do some delegating. So who are we delegating to? Who is going to be in charge of and on top of making sure that your vision comes to life on the day of the wedding? Who is going to be on top of and in charge of communicating to your bridal party and your vendors? Who's going to be on top of and in charge of rehearsal dinner, the rehearsal? If you're doing an engagement party, who's going to be handling that? If you're doing a bachelor weekend or night or day type situation, who's going to handle that? So all that jazz. And then last but not least, execution. The grand plan, much time into putting all the fine details together. Now we're at execution day. We're at the day of pulling the trigger. Who's going to see that thing out and through for you on your behalf, you and your partner's behalf, so that you all don't have to worry about a thing, okay? So that is pretty much my bride method, and I wanted to share that because, again, as I said at the open, I may not have said this at the open, and it doesn't even matter. We are coming off the heels of, the holiday season and all that good stuff, and we are in what the industry would consider peak engagement season. And so pretty soon, about March, April, the excitement about if it hasn't already started for you, depending on when you got engaged. For example, if you got engaged back in November, December of 2023, your excitement about engagement is probably starting to wear off a little bit, and now the reality of, oh my gosh, I'm planning a wedding, could potentially start to be setting in. And so as a result, I wanted to be intentional with my share and just kind of give you a place to land as you dive into the next phase of planning your wedding. If this sounds good, if you found this to be of any support to and for you, let me know in the comments below. And then also let me know what else you want to hear more of as you begin to embark on your wedding planning journey. All right, I've got to go. Check you later. So that ended up being me actually recording the content, which is totally fine, because now what I will do is repurpose. I'm going to chop and screw that for content to repurpose over on IG for my reel, and then I'm literally going to use that same exact video and post it over on TikTok. I am moving into a space of being even more intentional as it pertains to my obedience. When Christ impresses me to do something, gives me that. For example, with this whole video that I'm recording right now, it literally came from me sitting and working on the cheerleading YouTube for Oakwood Adventist Academy, and God was like, you know what? You're going to post a reel today, and when you post that reel, it's also going to be a TikTok. But it's also going to be content for another YouTube video for you to show behind the scenes of your process and how you go about creating content, for lack of a better term, right? And I was like, okay. So in the name of me being obedient, and more specifically, immediately obedient, I did all the things. So I started, shooting little clips and all that good stuff. So this content creation thing is really only as hard and as challenging as we make it. Michael Todd, Pastor Mike Todd of Transformation Church, he coined the phrase, all you have is all you need. And literally, I'm using my phone, a janky ring light that I bought, and the ring light separated from the tripod part, totally fine. Connected with some rubber bands, prop my phone up with a tabletop tripod that I have, and got to it. So if anything more or less, it's my prayer, it's my hope, it's my aim that this encourages someone, that this helps someone, that someone is you, to just get out there and do that thing that God has put in your heart to do. Because guess what? Someone in the world is depending on it. Someone in the world needs it. So don't put off for tomorrow what you could do today. All right. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you the next go around. Check you later.
Slowly kisses passing by the river. I've been missing your strawberry.